In this video, I will run through the top-ranked FanDuel lineup from thousands of simulations for Monday night's doubleheader for the opening week of the NFL season in 5 minutes or less. My name's Quick Pick Nick, and if you like fast-paced and calculated content like this, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more daily lineups throughout the NFL. To start off the lineup with a lock, meaning this player is very likely to outperform his price, my model recommends taking Ben Roethlisberger. This pick didn't come cheap, as Roethlisberger is $600 more expensive than the following option of Danny Jones. Big Ben is certainly worth the surcharge though, as all three other quarterbacks in the slate are overpriced for their projections, meaning they will likely score less points than that which should be expected given their costs. Coming back fully healed from both his surgery and promiscuous addiction, Roethlisberger should be able to pick up right where he left off in 2018, but this time with the help of a new starting running back, that being our second lock, James Conner. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin said that Conner is their bell cow for this year and that he will no doubt be the lead back in Pittsburgh. Conner will also be returning fully healed from injuries that limited his playtime last year, but he looks to be back to form and is ready to go against a relatively weaker rush defense of New York compared to the other teams in this slate. The third lock for this lineup is going to fill in the second running back slot, as my model suggests taking Derrick Henry at $8,400. Henry showed his true potential in the postseason last year, completely bulldozing both the Patriots and Ravens defenses in win or go home games. He's going up against a much weaker rush defense this week compared to what he saw during the playoffs, and if he was able to perform like that in those big games, he should be able to crush in this one. The final lock for this lineup is going to be our third running back, filling in the flex position, that being Saquon Barkley. I see this slate as only having three true options at running back, those being Conner, Henry, and Barkley. Melvin Gordon on the Broncos is likely to split time with Phillip Lindsay, and none of the backups to the aforementioned powerhouses should see more than a few reps tonight. Instead of choosing between the three or guessing which one will have a bad night, it's better to take all three and save more at the wide receiver position, where there are far more options who will have higher ceilings. What I'm trying to say is that all three running backs you see here are unrivaled at their position for this slate, whereas when it comes to the wide receivers, there are other options who will be able to score just as much as the top picks. Now that we've got our quarterback and running backs out of the way, for the tight end, my model selected Evan Ingram, who I would consider a limbo pick, somewhere in between lock and lottery. As if there's a trend with this lineup, Ingram is also coming back from an injury that kept him out of a majority of the 2019 season. During the games that Ingram did play though, he was pretty much the only dominant force for the Giants offense aside from Barkley. Ingram didn't quite make the cut for lock though, because Eric Ebron is also a suitable option at tight end. Ebron is very consistent at his position, and got traded out of Indianapolis simply because the Colts instead chose to run with Jack Doyle. Ebron has the potential to maybe score a touchdown tonight with his new team of the Steelers, but Ingram is still likely to outperform him, and there wasn't a configuration that would fit nicely including Ebron. Finally, for the four lotteries of this lineup, the three receivers selected were Darius Slayton, Jerry Jeudy, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Slayton certainly worked his way up the depth chart in his rookie season last year, ending the season with a few games where he was targeted 8 or more times. In addition, it looks like Golden Tate is going to be a game-time decision with a hamstring issue, and if Tate is limited at all, Slayton will be able to assume that mid-range threat as he accumulates a chunk of the targets and receptions. Jeudy, on the other hand, is much more of an unknown in his first year with Denver, but considering the fact that wide receiver 1 Courtland Sutton is questionable and unlikely to play for the matchup, Jeudy may have to step into a leading role here for his first NFL game. If Jeudy is given the opportunity to lead the wide receiver core tonight, he will serve as Drew Lock's primary target given his outstanding play throughout his tenure at Alabama. As for the third receiver, Smith-Schuster was selected mainly because this is a good spot to offload most of the rest of our cash. He had a rough year in 2019, but with Big Ben back under center, Smith-Schuster should be able to resume his synergy with his QB1 against the Giants' subpar secondary. Finally, for the defense, with the rest of the cash, my model chose the Tennessee Titans. This choice is preferable given the fact that the only Bronco on our team is Jeudy, meaning for the most part, there's no need to worry if the Tennessee defense shuts down Denver. And that's what my algorithm was able to come up with for the premier Monday Night Football matches. If you enjoy this type of content, be a friend, tell a friend. It helps grow the Quick Pick network and expands our community. This has been Quick Pick Nick, the intersection for sports, data analysis, and speed. Thanks for watching.